How do you respond when someone disrespects you? Do you get angry, stay silent, or let it ruin your entire day? Disrespect is something we've all faced. It stings, it unsettles us, and at times it leaves us feeling powerless. But what if there were a way to confront it with calm, clarity, and strength? That's where Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of resilience and reason, steps in. Instead of reacting emotionally, the Stoics teach us how to rise above insults and chaos with wisdom and composure. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful Stoic principles that will help you face disrespect while maintaining your inner peace and personal dignity. As always, stay strong and watch till the end. Let's begin. 1. Stay calm. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is, it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. As the philosopher Epictetus said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. This means that disrespect doesn't actually hurt you. It's your interpretation and the meaning you assign to the action that triggers your anger or sadness. The next time someone disrespects you, remind yourself, their behavior reflects their own mind and emotions, not your true worth. A simple shift in mindset can help you stay calm and avoid being controlled by someone else's negativity. 2. Self-reflection. Another pillar of Stoicism is self-examination. The belief that our thoughts shape our lives and the wise constantly reflect in order to grow. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So when you're disrespected, the best thing you can do is ask yourself, is there any truth in what they said or did? Did I act or speak in a way that may have triggered this situation? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and ethics? Instead of reacting on impulse, take a step back and observe the situation objectively. Doing so allows you to respond with reason, not emotion. And that's the power of a Stoic. Not only do you gain control over yourself, but you also learn and grow from the experience. 3. Learn to pause. The philosopher Seneca once warned, every time you get angry, you are not only reacting in the moment, you are reinforcing a habit. Anger isn't just harmful in the moment, it builds a long-term reflex of negativity. That's why the Stoics emphasize the power of the pause. When you're disrespected, your instinct might be to strike back immediately. But pause, breathe. In that moment, you reclaim your emotional control. You give yourself the power to choose a wise response rather than a reckless one. Often, our first reaction is the one we regret most. The Stoic pause isn't weakness. It's the starting point of self-mastery. We've just learned the power of a pause. When you choose silence over a snap reaction, you give yourself a precious moment to respond with clarity and in alignment with Stoic values. Now let's move to another equally profound principle. Empathy. Practice empathy. Epictetus once said, "Don't look for good or evil in external things. Look for it in yourself." This is one of Stoicism's foundational beliefs, that true value lies within us, and that all humans are connected through shared emotions, motivations, and even weaknesses. When someone disrespects you, Stoicism doesn't advise you to ignore it or pretend it doesn't hurt. Instead, it suggests something harder, but far more powerful. Try stepping into their shoes. Could they be lashing out because of something else? Might fear, insecurity, or ignorance be the real cause behind their words or actions? When you look at others through the lens of empathy, you begin to see the real person behind the behavior. And suddenly the insult doesn't feel as personal as it once did. You no longer feel attacked. You see someone struggling with their own emotions. Empathy not only helps reduce the negativity inside you, but also allows you to respond with calmness and kindness. You avoid unnecessary conflict, preserve your dignity, and most importantly, you stay true to Stoic values: wisdom, compassion, and self-discipline. And if you've made it this far into the video, you're truly different. You're not just here to listen, but to understand and transform. So let's keep going. The next 3 principles might just change the way you view life. 5. Focus on virtue. At the heart of Stoicism lies one powerful idea: virtue, qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are not abstract ideals, but guiding principles for living rightly and meaningfully. Seneca once wrote, "Virtue is nothing else but right reason." In other words, when you live with virtue, you act with reason and harmony with nature, rather than being driven by emotion or circumstance. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good in life. Everything else, fame, fortune, praise, or even insults, is secondary. So when you're disrespected, Stoicism doesn't tell you to stay silent or passive. It teaches you to respond in a way that honors your values. Respond with composure. Don't let emotion overtake reason. Act like the person you're proud to become. Holding on to virtue in the face of adversity not only preserves your dignity, it also becomes an opportunity to grow through the challenge. In the last section, we talked about staying virtuous even when disrespected, a way to protect your character and show inner strength. Now let's move on to another deeply Stoic principle: acceptance. 6. Practice acceptance. One of the core lessons of Stoicism is this: accept what is outside your control, including the disrespect that comes from others. Epictetus said, "The wise man is indifferent to what he does not possess and rejoices in what he does." This means that instead of obsessing over what we've lost or how we were treated unfairly, we should focus on what we do have: peace, self-worth, and the power to shape our own response. Stoicism also teaches us to clearly separate what we can and cannot control, what the Stoics call the dichotomy of control. We can control our thoughts, emotions, and actions. We cannot control the behavior, feelings, or opinions of others. So when you face disrespect, don't let it disrupt your inner world. Accept that it's part of life and redirect your energy towards self-improvement. Acceptance doesn't mean tolerating injustice. It means refusing to be dragged into useless anger. When you face disrespect with a Stoic spirit, you avoid falling into cycles of rage, bitterness, or frustration. You give yourself the space to learn, grow, and respond with clarity and strength. 7. Use humor. Sometimes a little laughter can be surprisingly powerful. Seneca once said, "You've mastered yourself when you know what not to take too seriously." Although Stoicism is well known for emotional control and rational behavior, it also recognizes that humor can be a useful tool when facing uncomfortable situations. When someone disrespects you, instead of getting angry or upset, why not try a lighthearted joke or a witty response? A touch of humor can ease the tension, prevent your emotions from exploding, and turn a negative situation into a more positive outcome. Of course, humor must be used wisely, not to mock or hurt, but to disarm conflict and maintain composure. When used appropriately, it can be an effective Stoic strategy to protect your emotions while preserving your calm and dignity. 8. Set clear boundaries. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be a doormat. It teaches you to be a rock, firm in the face of disrespect and injustice. A rock knows its worth and does not tolerate being stepped on. A rock knows what it can control and what it must let go. When someone disrespects you, you don't have to suffer in silence, but you also don't have to lash out in anger. Instead, respond with calm strength. Let them know their behavior is inappropriate and express how you expect to be treated. Set clear, reasonable boundaries to protect your dignity and self-respect. That is the Stoic spirit: resilience, fairness, and courage. Respect others, but never forget to respect yourself. 9. Choose forgiveness. Imagine someone just disrespected you. What will you do? Explode, hold a grudge, or will you let go? To the Stoic, forgiveness isn't a gift you give to others. It's a gift you give yourself. Forgiveness is the path to inner peace and happiness. Of course, it's not easy. Forgiving doesn't mean you approve of what happened or that you have to forget it. It means you choose to release the negativity that is hurting you more than anyone else. The Stoics teach, forgive everyone, but not blindly. Forgive with clarity, with compassion, and with justice. You cannot control what others do, but you can always control how you respond. And one of the most powerful responses is forgiveness. Not to make them feel better, but to set yourself free. In the previous section, we talked about the power of forgiveness. Not to release others, but to free yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. Forgiveness is an act of strength and a step forward in your journey of inner growth. Now let's move to the final principle, a crucial key to responding with wisdom and strength in every situation: changing your perspective. 10. Change your perspective. Perspective is the ability to step back and see the situation from a wider, more objective view. It's about removing the emotional lens and viewing life with clarity and wisdom. When someone disrespects you, instead of overreacting or getting overwhelmed by emotions, ask yourself, in the grand scheme of my life, does this truly matter? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By changing your perspective, you'll realize that most acts of disrespect are fleeting and temporary. They don't reduce your true worth or take away your happiness. Often, rudeness reflects someone else's insecurity, fear, or ignorance, not your failure. Instead of getting swept up in negativity, you can choose to let it go if it's not worth your energy. Forgive if it's not worth holding on to. Learn if there's something valuable to gain. A broadened perspective also helps you focus on what truly matters: your purpose, your values, your virtue. You start investing your energy in building something meaningful, instead of wasting it on resentment, retaliation, or impulsive reactions. Next time you encounter disrespect, try stepping back. Remember, Stoicism doesn't ask you to suppress emotion. It teaches you to manage it wisely. So we've just explored 10 powerful Stoic principles to help you face disrespect and rude behavior with strength and grace. By applying these principles, you won't just remain calm and composed. You'll gradually train your inner resilience, the kind that makes you unshakable by anyone or anything. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like so we can continue spreading this ancient wisdom to more people. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on the bell so you won't miss future Stoic lessons. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. See you in the next episode. Stay mindful, stay grounded, stay stoic.